1 will be 4 times L square. Yeah? So generally what happens is you will see some contingency measures have to be introduced when you stretch the boundaries of that engineering. This is temporary works, but still massive piece of engineering. Yeah. So I talked about the lagged and unlagged prop loads. You can see lagged are the ones which have got insulation, unlagged are the ones which don't have insulation. So in the night it's cool, in the daytime it's very hot, the forces are building up. Something like 5,000 kilometers, 500 tons of load is pushed. Whereas when we lag it, you can see it's almost constant. Yeah? Because we put the insulation, the temperature is maintained, the prop load is maintained. Where there is no insulation, you can see it's going up and down, up and down. The variation is huge variation. So this is the reason why we need to look into the temperature load that is added on to the forces. You can see here again we measure the props and then we did the ULS and then roughly we are hitting almost very close to predictions. But we had contingency propping. So although this is really critical because you got really 100%. How did we actually manage to control all the risks? It's because we had the contingency propping, especially on the one which has got the lagged ones. We said we will build a tower and cut the span into 2. So you increase your buckling loads. So that's the problem. That is why we were able to demonstrate we are coming so close to the measured loads on those. And you know, you can see the loads are on 10,000 kilometers. So that shows, as I was saying, that we have inclinometers within the secant piles all around the structure. So this shows the deformation at every dig. So it starts like that, and then once you go to the formation level, which is right to the bottom, you can see, and we work with what is called red, amber, green trigger level systems. So those are our acceptance limits, agreed with the clients, agreed with the stakeholders, and we look at those things and whether we come up to amber level or we come to the red level, and when do we have to introduce our contingency blocking. So you can see clearly how each of those sections are different because the ground conditions are different. So those are the section slices on all north, south, east, west. And this is our limit that we need to be working on. Sometimes these are imposed by the clients, so you've got to again agree the limits before you start on the site. What is that they want you to satisfy in terms of the movement? As I was saying before, if it is underground tunnels, it's 5 millimeters. That's the maximum you can have. So those are the rules we need to be wary of. So the inclinometers is where we have to establish, you have to understand where the critical points are, and then again, when you allow for inclinometers, you have to think that some of them will be broken, so you've got to allow for some sort of a damage into those things, and making sure that you've got enough readings to predict how the wall is moving inside. So as you can see, the bulge of the, because it's only one level prop, is spanning from there to there, it's coming like a nice bulge, yeah? So that's what's happening. And the bulge changes because the profile changes of the ground all around the site. In the observational approach, I talked about red, amber, green system. So green is basically predicted values are not exceeded, so you simply continue works. Yeah. Suppose you predicted 5 millimeters, fine, it's within that 5 millimeters, keep continuing. So everybody will let you go, dig, do whatever we have to build. We also put a precautionary value which is an amber level. That's, and if it exceeded movements, then we need to assess the moderately sensitive structures. So we've got to look at those. And damage grade is not met, review the work methods and proceed cautiously. Damage grade is met or exceeded, commence implementation of contingency measures. This is where you introduce contingency measures. So if you predicted 15 millimeters, you would say, I will use green as 5 millimeters, amber as 10, red as 15. So up to 5, people can work safely, no problem. But if you hit a 10 millimeter limit, that means amber between 5 and 10, you'll say, right, I better look at my methods and procedures, my dig sequence, and I may have to put a contingency propping. Yeah? And then obviously red is critical value exceeded, assess model sensitive structure for any evidence of adverse impact, obviously all neighboring properties, damage and everything what we talked about earlier is not made review the work. If damage is not exceeded, cease all excavation and construction work. So obviously LDL guys or whoever it is tells what they will have a live monitoring of what is happening with your system. So once you sit down, they will come and stop the work. So come on guys, you give me explanation why you got a peak here. You can't work, the site is obviously stopped, and you have to assess what has happened, and then only you can proceed. This is a 24-hour monitoring that keeps going for especially live tunnels, all the LUL and Thames water assets and all. If it is a neighboring property, it may not be 24 hours, but still party wall guys will say, oh, you touched amber because this is what we agreed in the initial stages. So you touched amber, what are you doing about it? Yeah, you got to give the contingency propping measures. So that's the monitoring, observational monitoring. So this is one particular example where we have a very sensitive structure, as in the chimney pond is the Royal Albert Hall I was talking about. Maximum lateral is green, amber is that, amber red is 16. So if we actually, within that 12 millimeters, if you exceed 12 millimeters, you are into amber and red zone. So you got to stop the work and demonstrate, you got a contingency measure before you proceed anything on the site. And if you got a non-sensitive structure, so adjacent to non-sensitive streetscape, maximum lateral displacement 15 mil, and then we go to 20 mil. So non-sensitive, it doesn't matter. Maybe we can go and repair it. Yeah. So if the cost of repair is very little, we can still proceed because it's non-sensitive structure. So somebody might say, right, I'll go and just patch up the plaster work or re-plaster it and so on. Those sort of things. So these are the trigger levels for inclinometers. So that's another sort of a red, amber, green. In terms of the monitoring, we talked about we monitor deformations, yeah, of the walls. We monitor the ground settlements, how the ground is doing, the road and the studs and everything. We talked about wall movements, we talked about top loads and party wall movements, yeah. We talk about tunnel movements, if there are tunnels. The other thing is also about the vibration. So some of the boring that we do for the piles, you create a vibration, ground vibration. Some of the torque that we are applying, the vibrations we are applying could create a sensitive vibrations to the adjacent structures. Again, that is something that we have to do. We got a very sensitive laboratories where NMR, that sort of spectroscopy equipment is there. If you are piling here, the next door may have a very sensitive laboratory equipment. It happens in most of the universities. We have to control the vibrations at the point of source. So they will ask you to measure what is the vibration from point of where you are actually boring the pile or you are driving the pile to the point where the sensitive structures or sensitive laboratories are there. So we've got to measure the vibration, and again you use the rag system, and then of course the temperature. These are the things that we monitor. So the monitoring is very important as a part of observational approach. Okay, take a break. 5 minutes.